Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode on All the Cool Kids Are Vegan podcast. I'm Farah, your host. Welcome back. And this time I've got a solo episode, which I've not done yet on this podcast. So I'm excited to just be one-on-one, me talking to you guys. And and I'm specifically excited because I'm going to be talking about my own vegan journey, which I've been posting so much about veganism online, etc., and I've realized no one actually knows about my own vegan journey and why I transitioned towards veganism and how I've become so passionate about it now. So I'm just going to be sharing my whole journey on today's episode, so get ready. And what's special about it is that this month marks my 3-year Veganniversary. I turned vegan in August 2020, and this is now August 2023, which means 3 years. Happy Veganniversary to me. Turning vegan, changed my life. I'm not the same person that I used to be in 2019. Like a year before turning vegan, I was just. Also, I never thought I would be vegan. So me being vegan now and me just being such a better person than who I used to be, I don't know. Veganism has just completely transformed my life. So I'm excited to talk about it today. And yeah, it's actually so crazy. I mean, maybe some people relate who are vegan. They can relate to their pre-vegan self and how, unconscious we were. And it's just so crazy to kind of look back and see that unconsciousness, when it comes to buying animal products or buying leather, etc., etc. Actually, that's actually pretty interesting too, is that this month also marks me selling my leather items, which I didn't, last year, I didn't think about it much about selling my leather items, but then I've just become I've just realized that I'm not comfortable wearing leather anymore. I used to think that, I bought these leather items before I was vegan and I'm just not going to buy any new leather items. That was my way of looking at it, where it was okay, yes, I'm vegan and I still own leather, but I'm not going to buy new leather. That was kind of the way I was looking at it. But now, for me to still wear leather and walk around town wearing a leather bag, I don't know, it bugs me a lot. So I've decided to sell all my leather bags. So this now 3 years vegan, super vegan, as in I'm selling my leather bags, not JK. And I turned vegan in 2020. It was quarantine. And I was living with my brother. I was living with my whole family. We were all living together again, which we hadn't done in a while because we were all studying, etc. And then in quarantine, we were all living together. And my brother was vegan for a year already. He turned vegan in 2019. And first of all, when he turned vegan, I didn't get it. I was like, why are you vegan? Why would you ever cut out certain products from your diet? Why would you not just eat everything that we can eat? I was so unconscious. I did not make the connection at all, which is really interesting for me to look back upon. And actually, to be honest, Rafi, my brother's name. So Rafi he wasn't that vocal about being vegan. I just remember him making some sly comments in the kitchen because we had eggs. And then I remember him saying something oh, because you have eggs, baby chicks die. And I didn't get it. I didn't think that was true. I was just what are you saying? Just remember that and just not really understanding if that was true. I was just no, that's not true at all. I don't know. That was just pretty unconscious me, not being aware at all of what's happening in the industries, etc. So that was my brother was my introduction to veganism, and we were all living together in quarantine and we were eating a lot of family meals that were all plant-based. For dinner every day we'd all get together and have a plant-based meal with the 4 of us. So I was already accidentally plant-based, I would say. I was eating, I think, almost 100% plant-based in quarantine. And there came a point where I was obviously not consciously plant-based or vegan, so I wasn't, I would still eat things here and there, and I ordered outside food, and I ordered this acai bowl that had granola. No, it wasn't granola, it was salted caramel nuts that you could put on the acai bowl. Very extra, but yeah. So I ordered these with it, and I ate those. And I think the dairy content of that salted caramel was so heavy that I became so nauseous after eating it, and I had ordered like extra, so like I had a lot, and I ate like almost everything, and then I gave the rest to my dad because I was like, I can't eat this. Can you finish it? And I was like, be careful though, it's really heavy. So anyway, so he only took a bit, and he was like, oh yeah, like it's quite nasty. But yeah, so that made me so nauseous. That made me like so nauseous that I wanted to like throw up, and I remember just saying like, okay, like I'm gonna go vegan now too. Like I'm gonna go plant-based, I'd say, not vegan. I was like, I'm gonna go plant-based too because like I don't want to eat anything that makes me feel this nauseous. And obviously dairy can really do that to you, especially because I was already accidentally plant-based in a way that I was not eating a lot of dairy. So having that heavy dairy dish impacted me more because I was already kind of detoxing from dairy, so my body wasn't used to it anymore. So when I had that, it immediately, like, I was more sensitive towards it. So when I had it, I was immediately like just wanted to throw up, and it impacted me so much. So I was like, I don't want to eat something that makes me feel this way. So let me just cut out as well dairy and eggs, I guess, too, because I didn't eat much eggs by then. But yeah, so then I decided to cut out animal products. And then after making that conscious decision to cut out animal products in my diet is when I actually learned about the industries, about what happens to animals. So it took me turning vegan for health to become vegan for the animals. Yeah, and like it's sad to see that I didn't turn vegan for the animals, because that is obviously the most important part of being vegan, or the most important reason to be vegan. So like that makes me sad that like I didn't like turn vegan for the animals right away. But I think it took me turning vegan for health to kind of look into what do we do to animals, and like because I was not consuming these products, maybe then I was more open to it, to figuring out like what it is that happens to animals. So I started like following vegan pages online, and I started seeing a lot of videos, and that's when I learned what happens to animals. And that's when I consciously made the decision of like, what happens to animals is so wrong that no animal product can ever be worth what we do to animals. And that's when I really turned vegan, you know what I mean? Not just plant-based, like vegan. And then I think like a year went by, and I was just a bit of a quiet vegan. I was not really talking too much about what happens to animals. I was just vegan. That was my diet. That was what I ate. And yeah, and it took me like a year into being vegan to like really want to spread information online about it. And like I started like sourcing content. Last year, like March, is when I started being really passionate about sharing information. And I started this Instagram page called All the Cool Kids Are Vegan. And I was going to make it like a vegan information page, like sharing, reposting vegan content. But I was not going to put my name on there because I was too scared to like, because veganism, because, you know, it can, people have their opinions. So I was like, if I start a page, I don't want their opinions to be directed at me. I'll have it be directed at the page, not at me. So then I started like this separate page on Instagram to share that content, so that if people had opinions, they wouldn't be like talking to me, they would be talking to the page. That was like, I was like scared, you know what I mean? So then once I did that for like 2-3 months only, and doing that, like posting on the page, made me realize how passionate I am, because I just wanted to continue posting. I was continuously sourcing, and I was really excited about like making that page big. And that's when I also had like a career shift where I was like not sure anymore about what I want to do. And I've always had a passion for media with my YouTube. I had already had my YouTube. I had a podcast before this one. So I was really excited about YouTubing, podcasting, etc. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm so passionate about veganism. Let's combine these passions of media and let's become a vegan influencer. I was like, let's do this, which is now June last year. So it's been over a year that I changed my username to farahamberh, and I started posting those content, started posting like a reel a day about vegan food, about the animals. And then it has transitioned me to like now being very, very conscious about what it is that I want to post content about. I want to just share information about the industries, what happens to animals, everything's behind closed doors. And I got to bring that information out there because no one ever told me about it, which I'm so sad about. That like, I wish there was, or maybe it did happen, but I wasn't open to it. But I don't remember there being like a video about the dairy industry or something. Like I wish I would have seen that earlier. So I want to be that person for future, how do you say that? that person that I didn't have, I want to be that for other people, to like tell them about what happens and maybe plant a seed of like of how else we can function in society where we don't have to harm animals, that to show them that there is another way, and just to inform them on what happens, because I wasn't informed, basically. So yeah, I went pretty fast through that whole thing, and I think I missed out a lot of more information. That was pretty fast on my vegan journey. But I did want to share more about how what my diet used to be, because I did used to eat everything, actually. Basically, I was raised in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So we ate a lot of like cheese. We ate eggs, and my dad's side of the family was very meat heavy. So I used to eat chicken. I ate like beef sometimes. Was not a big a fan. Never ate much seafood, by the way. I've always hated seafood because it tasted like the sea, and I just always hated it. And so I'm a Pisces, which is like fish in Dutch. Like in Dutch, the star sign, the actual name of Pisces is fishes. So when I was like little, like I don't know how little, like I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know, something like this, I would just say, no, I don't want to eat fish because I'm a fish. And that was my excuse. But in reality, I just hated the taste. But I do love that saying of I don't eat fish because I'm a fish. Because I'm a fish, I'm a Pisces. Yeah. Anyway, so my diet consisted of pretty much like everything, and still quite dairy heavy, if I can say, because I think being like in Amsterdam, like cheese is pretty big in the culture of Dutch culture. But my grandparents from my mom's side, they were vegetarian for a long time. My mother was actually raised vegetarian by my grandma. So she never ate a lot of meat, because at home they'd eat vegetarian food, and when she was out she could choose to eat meat. But my mom never really wanted to eat much meat. So me and my brother were also raised more on like vegetable proteins versus meat, like at home, like what my mom cooked for me and my brother. And my dad's side of the family, my dad's eats meat, and his family is very meat heavy, so that's his culture. But he's almost we're trying to get him plant-based. He just eats a little bit of meat still, which is not great, but I'm not here to change anyone. I'm thankful that my direct family is quite vegan, like my brother and mother and grandparents. So if maybe my dad will turn vegan. Who knows? I'll keep you guys updated. But yeah, so then my grandparents were vegetarian for a while, and they turned vegan when my grandfather, he developed prostate cancer about 5 years ago. And he was vegetarian for like 40 years, right? So then it was pretty clear that like dairy and eggs, which are like hormonal foods, can be like the cause of prostate and breast cancer. So when he got discovered that he got prostate cancer, my grandparents, they cut out all animal products from their diet, so no more dairy and no more eggs. And he did the treatment, and he got cleared of prostate cancer. But yeah, so they stayed vegan after that as well. So they turned vegan, and they are still vegan. Bless them. And just to go back to me and my diet, is that what I remember from myself is that like when I moved out to go to uni at 18, I was living by myself for the first time, which meant I was cooking for myself, actually, like for the first time, just for myself. So I remember buying chicken from the supermarket because I wanted to make fajitas. And that was my first time like buying chicken, and I had to like clean the meat and it had like all these like white stuff, and I got like so disgusted after that, and I was like I think 18 or 19, after that I never cooked chicken at home ever. So that was kind of like I only ate it out, but I never cooked it in my own house. So that kind of shows already how we're just like, or at least I was just so not inclined towards meat, and like that I found the raw meat like so disgusting, because I don't think I'd ever seen, I've probably seen it, but I'd not actually put my hands on raw meat before that, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was so disgusting. So I remember that I think I was 19, and after that I was like mostly vegetarian, and I would eat meat very rarely. at like Nando's or Chipotle. Yeah, pretty much. But dairy was heavy though, because I remember actually also once, I'm just like remembering instances now. I remember at Chipotle, the dairy, sorry, not the dairy, but I mean, yes, the dairy, but the cream, the sour cream, there we go. The sour cream was so nasty because I remember once one employee at Chipotle put like a whole lot of sour cream on my burrito, and like I wanted to throw up. Like I was eating, like that was too much sour cream, and like that, like those instances just like remind me, and it shows you that dairy is so heavy for our body, and like we've been grown up like eating dairy, so our body's like we're used to it, right? But like there's instances like with that too much sour cream where you just like get nauseous and it's like too much, and like that kind of shows you that it's not good for you, you know. And now, having not had dairy for like 3 years, I cannot with dairy. I think I think people ask you, like people can ask me like, oh, would you ever cheat on your diet? And like, first of all, I would never buy animal products because I don't want to support the industries. But I also can never even put it in my mouth because like my body will react. Like I'm so sensitive now that I will like throw up. Okay, no, I won't. Maybe I won't throw up, but I will like not be happy at all with eating it. Like I'm sure my body will react to it. Like I'm just so sensitive now. Actually, there's another funny instance with my mom. There's vegan donuts here in Dubai, and she one time ordered the wrong ones. So she ate like normal donuts, and she actually threw up. Like, that was really sad. She basically threw up, and then she blamed it on the sugar, which, like, fair enough. Sugar is really bad as well. But my brother was like, are you sure that they were the vegan donuts and not the normal ones? And she checked the, like, the Deliveroo order, and it turned out, yeah, that it was the normal donuts, not the vegan one. So then we're like, okay, well, that's why you threw up. That's such a crazy instance. But yeah, so even though like we didn't go heavy on the meat, I did like make a conscious decision to go vegetarian in 2020 as like a New Year's resolution. And then 6 months, 7 months, 8 months later is when I like transitioned towards veganism. And I actually remember the first post I made like publicly announcing that I'm vegan, which was like I think 6 months after that, as in December 2020, I put like an Instagram post which said that vegans are like adults. First you hate them, then you become one yourself and realize they were right all along, which I resonate so much with because, and I put the caption also on that, I put best decision I made in 2020, so which meant like no turning vegan. But I resonate with that line so much is like because I used to deny, you know, my brother being vegan. Like I used to be like, oh no, like why is he vegan, like etc. Like I was like, I didn't understand why he was vegan, right? I didn't hate my brother but it was like this annoying thing that he was vegan or something. I don't know, it was really weird, but yeah. So I resonate with that line. And then you become one yourself and realize they were right all along. So this is for Rafi, that I become one myself and I realize he was right all along, literally. And it was a slide post, and the other one was why vegan, and it had like I think it was a repost by vegan.meme, and it said why vegan. 1, animals feel fear and pain. 2, if it's wrong to eat a dog, it's wrong to eat a cow. 3, heart disease, our number 1 killer. 4, cancer, our number 2 killer. 5, the grain used for livestock would feed the world's hunger. 6, meat is worse for global warming than cars. 7, a cow's milk was created for her calf. So it really just summed up all the reasons to be vegan, right? So then I put the first post was vegans are like adults, and then the second swipe was like why vegan, to kind of make people realize that there's so many reasons to be vegan. Literally animals, health, environment. Yeah, so I put that as like the first post on me being vegan, and after that I remember putting in my bio that I was vegan. And now I'm literally at for a vegan, so I'm like so vegan now, and I'm so happy to be vegan because it changed me completely. I've become so like compassionate and caring towards like all life, which like I think when you're unconscious pre-vegan, you're also just unconscious for a lot of things. Like you're unconscious for, I don't know, you just don't realize a lot that's happening in the world, and what we contribute to as individuals. And then once you turn vegan, you like that opens up your eyes. It opens up this whole different world that like I didn't know I was contributing to. When it comes to even leather, you know, like the toxins that are used in the dye, it impacts the employees who are working there. Like it just impacts so much. Like even vegan is like animal products also impact the people who work in farms, the people who work in slaughterhouses. It's not a fun job. Imagine to be surrounded by blood all day. No one wants that. So like you just realize that, you know, our actions do have consequences, even if we don't think they do. And yeah, so turning vegan just like opened up this whole different compassionate side of me that, yeah, I don't, I never thought I'd be this way, but I am now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving being vegan. With that, I'll end this podcast episode, and I want to thank you all for listening to me sharing a bit about my story, my vegan journey, about my family, about my life, literally. Yeah, I'm so passionate about helping others towards veganism now too, by informing them. I hope to be able to help them soon. I hope to write like a how to vegan ebook so I can help others with their transition. So keep a lookout on that. That will be available soon. Yeah, thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. And yeah, happy Veganniversary to me. If you want to wish me, you can comment on this podcast and wish me a happy Veganniversary. We can all have some vegan cake together. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Bye.